In our first story, the police in Cape Coast, they've arrested 22 students in connection with the violence on the campus of the University of Cape Coast at the weekend. Several students were injured in the clash and several property were destroyed during the whole week celebration that ensued among students of the three main universities in our country. Regional Police PRO ASP Irene Opong says the students are being screened so they could identify the real culprits.
For now, as I'm talking to you, we have 22 students with us that we are interrogating, and we are taking caution statements from them for now as suspects. And as we collect these statements, we are going to assess them and then narrow down to get the main culprits of that riot. So for now, yes, everybody that we have picked is a suspect, but evidence will really show those who are the main suspects.
She had the students from the Commonwealth and Unity Halls of the University of Ghana who took part in the violence will also be brought in as suspects. In the meantime, she says the police administration will increase numbers on the campus to provide security for effective academic work and upcoming whole week celebrations.
We had a meeting with the university authorities, and basically we went there to discuss what happened the other time, the riots that happened at the university, and also as stakeholders to also know the responsibilities or the roles that each institution has to be assigned, as there are other all-week celebrations in line that are coming on within this month and early next month. And so when we had the meeting, as security agency, ours is to make sure that the Casford Hall celebration, which is coming on the 29th of this month, we are to give security and make sure that we are on top of issues. The university also have a responsibility to make sure that measures that they have put in place or procedures that students have to follow when it comes to celebration of such events are also met. Again, organizers of that event, per the Public Order Acts, have some responsibilities that they have to shoulder when it comes to organizing events of this nature. We are going to make them aware, sensitize them to know that yes, after the program, if you are an organizer, if there is anything that goes wrong, per the Public Order Act, you have questions to answer, which the police will go according to what is stipulated in the Act. So for now, yes, we have made everybody aware of his or her duty as an institution and individuals, including our students.
3 persons who were attacked on the campus brawl are in critical condition. One of them, 18-year-old Emmanuel Kwashi, is unable to walk after he was stabbed during the clash. Joy News' Joseph Akable spent some time with him and has the rest of the story.
It's shocking because if I can't work again, then I'll be kind of like destroy my future or something like that. So
I guess you hope you'll be able to regain movement of your legs, sir.
Oh, I'll walk again. Very soon I'll walk. It's a gradual process. I'll walk again.
18-year-old Emmanuel Kwashi, confident of walking again. Flanked by his parents, he looks unhappy as nurses at the hospital attend to him. The emergency ward is where he has spent the past few days. Emmanuel recalls returning from a visit to Adisadel College, an attempt to find a safe haven to avoid tear gas fired by officers.
I was outside seeking for shelter and the police people came. And also they started to use tear gas and I'm asthmatic, so I was trying to get away from beside the guy. I was going down there. So I was there for a while, about an hour or two, and the vandals people, I think when it was around 11, they were leaving. So I think Ogo and Casford were chasing them out. So I saw that as an opportunity to enter the hall. So when I was going, someone just stabbed me and I just sat and I couldn't feel my legs again. I still can't feel them.
Emmanuel may not have survived if not for the intervention of a friend who identified him as a resident of Oguaho.
I didn't see the person, but the person also wanted to burn me. It's when he stabbed me, he was pouring kerosene on my legs, and I was trying to yell that, oh, I'm in Ogua, I'm not part of them. So it's like a friend of mine also came to my defense and was like, oh, I'm also in Ogua, so they should leave me. So that's what happened then.
Emmanuel's father, Moses Kwashi, wants his son back on his feet.
I hope he will recover. But my problem, because now actually he was not stable, but now he's stable, okay. But the problem is that paralyzation. I don't know, and I haven't seen any, for now, no doctor have tell me exactly what is good. They say, well, it will take time to take the better. I don't know actually what really my child will be in the future, whether he will come back on his feet.
That story was found by Joseph Akable, and we'll follow up on that and give you a lot more updates on the condition of the young man who unfortunately became a victim in that student rioting or disturbances on the campus of the University of Cape Coast. Emmanuel Kwashi is his name. We wish him a speedy recovery. But let's move on to other stories. The Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, that's the PURC, is back in the news again. This time it's staff of the commission who are protesting against the management and also demanding a thorough audit of his accounts. The PRC has been in the news not too long ago after Joy News investigations revealed questionable payment, including some top management officials involved. The protesting workers, clad in red armbands as well as shirts, Wednesday morning called for the removal of their board and subsequent investigations into the dealings of the commission. Local union chairman of the PURC, Alhaji Abubakar Jafaru, has since been speaking to Joy News on the subject.
Based on that, we were saying that we have lost confidence in the executive secretary and the board, and they should immediately go. Almost 2 weeks now.
You want them to go to the executive secretary and who?
Yes, and the board. If the government thinks or the presidency thinks they are so good that they can't do away with it, then they should take them to the presidency to work with them, because we have lost confidence and hope. Look, our morals are down. People here are sick. If you go through a BP check with the people that you have here, majority of them will be abnormal. I personally think I can absorb shock, and I can tell you that for almost 2 months now, I don't sleep well. Massa, you'll be surprised the things you will hear. We are waiting at the right time that we will make presentations to the necessary authorities.
Wait, you have documents in possession. You
let them go. Let them move out of the seat, and you will see or hear things that will come out. But as of now, nobody can speak. Even if the union chairman just asks a question and he's queried, then who will be able to speak?
So are you saying that a union, as a union, you have, some documents leading to the fact that, some monies have been misappropriated, embezzled?
We called on Yoko, we called on the presidency to get the necessary organizations to come and conduct an audit. We are calling on them to come. They should come. We don't want to say, oh, I have this, I have that, I have that. But they should come to conduct an audit. And when they come and conduct an audit, they will find out themselves. It is a right of organizations or people to call for an investigation. And that was exactly what we did to the chief of staff. We don't want to go on playing issue, prosecuting people on the media landscape. Okay. We want the right thing to be done.
And the union chairman is also alleging some members of the union are being victimized after Joy News investigations revealed the rot at the commission. One of the victims, Isaac Kofi Asen, told Joy News how he had been instructed to make some questionable payments into the bank account of the executive secretary, and is said to have been hauled before a disciplinary committee speaking to the media without authorization. The local chairman himself is facing disciplinary actions for an altercation with a top official of the PRC since then.
The reason is that we've had some level of victimization going on. Joy FM did some expose, and during the course of the investigative journalists, he was referred by Nanaya Gentwa specifically to speak to one of our members on some transaction that had undertaken. Then when he responded to the investigative journalist, on that count, he's had several letters and he's asked to appear on several committees. And we thought it was not fair because speech or freely, he has the right to at least express himself or he has a right to answer a question. But as to what is the issue behind that particular gentleman, that he within a week or two, he was given about 4 letters within that short period. And that is the reason why we are not happy. Then on yesterday, I think we had to find out, from the FNA chairman, I personally wanted to find out what at all the gentleman had committed. Then I think it didn't go down with him, and he had some kind of action, and it ended up in even people have to restrain him.
Yeah, who are we talking about here?
Dr. Dujemfi.
What's his position here?
He is the FNA chairman and the commissioner.
Okay.
So upon that, the chairman too, have to receive a query on that. So we've seen that because of what is happening now, there are a lot of allegations that are going that people are corrupt within the commission. And we have petitioned the chief of staff to let the necessary agencies come and investigate. Almost 3 weeks now, we have not heard anything. And people are being victimized day in, day out. Queries are issued out every day, and that is our problem now. So if we continue to sit down, I think by the time that the CEO is asked to go, anyway, by the Transitional Act, the board is not supposed to be there, but they keep on coming here. They keep on meeting, and they take decisions detrimental to our members. And that is what the generality of the union is against. And we think that we can continuously sit in this dispensation where our speech, you can have the free will to even speak on issues of concern or issues affecting you.
Unauthorized structures on government reserved lands along Mensa Guinea, Korle Lagoon and Aveno, all in Accra, are expected to be demolished soon by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. This, we know, forms part of measures by the AMA to prepare fully the capital ahead of the rainy season and also to ensure dredging along the Korle and Odor lagoons are completed on schedule. Matilda Wamaga has more.
Several makeshift structures constructed along the railway lines just around the Neoplan station here in Accra. Most of these wooden structures come with warnings in red paints asking occupants to remove before 2nd February 2017. Squatters in this area are mostly traders who live along the railway lines. This is part of the area earmarked for the demolition exercise. Most of these squatters are unaware of the intended demolition by the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. The few who are aware plead for an extension. Our structures were destroyed last year. We had no place to live. We gathered a little money to put up the structure again. Many of us here are homeless. We have nowhere to go. We plead the AMA gives us more time to relocate.
We are begging. We are begging that when here is destroyed, some people will be homeless. Some people will be homeless. So let us know what we can do in order to chip the aeration to the gutter, so that let us not pray for disaster.
How prepared are you? Are you ready to move out of this place?
I'm not ready.
So what are you going to do?
Well, let's leave everything for God, because if I say that I will be the part of it, I'm lying.
But Public Relations Officer of the AMA, Numu Blafo, says the demolition must be carried out now. He explains why the removal of unauthorized structures around Odo River, Korle Lagoon, Old Fadama, the East Legon Greenbelt, Mensa Guinea, Railway Station, The stretch from Aveno to Sikins Bridge, Agbegloshi, Glife and Chemwena are necessary.
Koli Lagoon, we have to dredge the Odo River to avert flooding. In fact, this is not a new exercise. It's something that we started some way back. And when we started, we realized that the buffer zones that were actually reserved for the machines that will work on the lagoon and the Odo River, that is excavators and tipper trucks that will even cut away the materials that will be removed from the channels. We're warning them, we went in, we marked the structures for removal, but maybe they felt since they aren't seeing the machines, then it's like we were not coming. We've gone in, we've marked those structures, and we have given them or served them with a reminder. We are in a process of going to do the actual removals.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly will, however, not indicate the exact date and time for the intended demolition.
Officials of the Ghana National Fire Service in Tamale, they've begun investigations into a fire incident at the St. Charles Senior High School in the Northern Region that ravaged an entire 3-story dormitory block of the school, and in the process displacing more than 500 students.
The fire started from the 3rd floor at about 9 p.m. Monday while students were attending prep. They rushed out of class in response to alarm from neighboring residents. Although the cause of the fire is yet to be established, fire service personnel's initial suspicion is illegal tampering of electrical cables. Nicholas Puku Akins is the public relations officer of the Northern Region Fire Service.
Taking measures with the aim of reducing or eliminating fires from occurring. Protection, no matter the measures that you take, there are going to be some fire outbreaks, and that brings about causes of fires. What are some of the causes of fires? Carelessness by some of us, ignorance, negligence, accidents. We have a lot.
Headmaster of the school, Paleka Beire, announced that 1st and 2nd year students have been sent home to return on March 28, 2017 as part of measures to contain a residential crisis in the all-male secondary school.
We are just strategizing as to how you will manage it until things can be normalized in quotes, because I know they will not be normalized immediately. And I will sympathize very much with the final year students who will be writing exams starting from today. Trauma can cause some people to even forget their past. But I believe you gather courage that you have learned enough.
The Ghana Education Service has meanwhile donated 100 mattresses to students remaining on campus to be used in classrooms.
And before we go, a Metro Mass bus in Accra, that is from Accra to Cape Coast, that was in transit to the Central Region, has been burnt to ashes when it caught fire at the Ope-Kuma Junction near Kaswa. As you can see in your pictures, according to an eyewitness account, the fire started after a tie burst. And the eyewitness told Joy News the Ghana National Fire Service got to the scene after the fire had completely overwhelmed the bus.
130 minutes a tie a plastic Kaswa Cape Coast community by friend Adum City on the first bus.
At about 1:30 p.m., the tie got burst at Adum City between the Kaswa and Cape Coast Road. Fortunately, the 30 passengers on board were able to come down before the bus caught fire. The fire service crew could not get here on time.
Meanwhile, the Afro fire service saw Mombra, and fire service about 30 minutes. Almost free Accra no more Cape Coast. Now, any passengers need be interacting. Now, much as almost a good notice of break.
Some passengers say they realized the driver's brake kept failing and so alerted him to stop. Though some goods had been burnt, all passengers are safe without any injury.
First bus stop, incident na yɛ de esi.
And anyone say your own.
Yeah, never say a man for omo pass omo never be to say plate omo aduane ni other luggage bi omo dey for. Bebree ahyehyɛ but unfortunately nimpa biara ho anka.
An eyewitness holding one of the damaged plates belonging to one of the passengers as a demonstrative piece. Well, that'll be it for the latest news we have. We have a lot more updates of the news as we look at the newspapers and also we look at news on the online portals. Remember, it's always first, myjoyonline.com. We're taking a break. When we come back, we'll do all that.